Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining Amy and I today for the Naked Truth. We're going to be talking more about masculines today. We're going to try. Should we tell everyone what just happened? What just happened?
Yeah, that's
So,
pretty crazy.
so we tried to do it over Zoom as we normally do. So if the quality of this video isn't as good as normal, it's because we're on Skype. So what we were trying to do is do our normal Zoom chat, and whenever I was speaking, Amy would hear a weird, what would you call it, alien noise.
Yeah, it was like alien noise. It was just like it was like and I was like, what? And I just started laughing so hard, and I was just like, what? And then she paused and she'd go, and I was howling, but I was just like, I gotta take a video of this. I'm sorry.
Which I will post
I
on my
took a
Instagram
video
for
of it.
everyone to see because it's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I sent it through. Yeah, I sent it to her through WhatsApp, and
Yeah.
she was just like, and then she was just like, and it was like Little Mermaid, or I was like, I feel so bad for you. It's like you've lost your voice. The Wicked Queen took your voice. So we've had quite a start.
Yeah, so we've been trying to get on to do this video for about 20 minutes, haven't we? Like 20 minutes, half an hour. But it's funny because sometimes when I record, when I do my lives, you hear like a crackly noise when an angel is talking or when my guide is talking. But this was like intense.
Over the top.
It was a bit much. So we were like trying to figure out whether something was trying to stop us from doing the video. So we're on Skype now and we're okay. So we haven't got
Yeah,
as
there's
long,
nothing.
but
I don't feel any negative energy around it whatsoever.
yeah, it's just a weird blip.
Yes.
So what I was trying to say to you when I was in my alien form was what my guides asked me to do was to pull out three healing cards for the masculines as topics, which I thought was interesting. I haven't actually told you this yet because we haven't had a chance to actually talk properly. But what's interesting is that the first card that came up, we've got three cards. So we've got selling out,
Wow.
right?
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's this card for those of you that it's actually a picture of a prostitute on the card. She's selling herself short. I know. Like the lighting's not great here, but
Gosh, that's so interesting too, because it's like, I don't know about you, but I've had past lives of prostitution.
have you?
Well, one in particular that was very vivid. Yeah. And a lot of people that I talked to were in that life with me.
Oh. I haven't seen anything from myself, but maybe I haven't looked anything I could.
Yeah.
But,
It was between, like, we would travel between France and England. So I bet you were there.
I should take myself with you.
We'll have to look at that. Girl power.
Oh, well, that was like
So
like the selling out is like not living up to who you truly are, right? Not living up to, and that is such a masculine card.
oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, because a lot of the masculines, there's so much potential there, but the old templates are keeping them stuck in a way. Like, well, I have to keep this job because it's what brings in the money and it's what pays for the bills, it's what pays for the house, it's the food on the table. But actually, there's so much more power within them to go and do something bigger and even make more money because it comes from love. But they're not doing it because they're still afraid. Fear is a big thing still, I think, within the masculine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they have to learn not to grasp onto the material.
Yeah.
Because that's not what brings you happiness.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be free from that stuff. And even like, it's like, sometimes I listen to their concepts and I'm like, I mean, it sounds logical, but at the same time, I'm just like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because like father masculines, for example, they will think that it's better to keep the family together, even though their children are learning to manipulate through these parents being manipulative, like especially the mother, if it's a karmic partner. If she is like controlling him and bossing him around and being rude and mean and really manipulative, those kids are learning that.
Yep.
And it's just like, get out of that situation. Don't, like, what are you providing for the kids except for like a hostile environment?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not telling everybody to run out and get divorced necessarily, but if you're in a situation where you're not being treated well, it's like, what are you teaching your kids?
Yeah.
And, it's like, okay, and especially like if I can see where if they haven't found their twin flame or something, maybe that I could see where they might just endure for a bit longer till the kids are at least 5. But after 5, there's no excuse. No. Like, and especially if you know your twin flame, are you kidding me? Like, you're talking about like Disneyland for your household.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of masculines are really skeptical that they'll get along that great with their counterpart, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But they don't realize what an incredible thing that they've stumbled upon in this person. And it's like they love them so much that it's just like the risk is far too great that this one, it's like they're convinced from now on, this next person will crush me too. No matter who they are. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you could just, if you're a masculine watching this, it's like, if you can just realize how special this connection is compared to the other ones and really kind of see the differences, I suppose, and the level of integrity she has versus the others, that should tell you how well you'll get along. Because if this person is emotionally intelligent, and if she has integrity, and if she's not out dating other people or sleeping around or doing any of that nonsense, she's not going to do it to you, dude. Right? Kind of makes sense?
Yeah.
You don't have anything to fear with this person, and they'll be an incredible mother. Incredible. Mm-hmm. So, don't sell yourself short or settle.
Mm. Yeah, because I see that a lot, and I'm going to be doing a video about this after we talked about releasing the material stuff, about releasing, letting go of what you think keeps you safe. That makes sense. Because a lot of the masculines think, well, if I'm here, I'm safe. As long as the bills are paid, I'm in a house, I'm safe. My children are safe. But like you say, what energy are you bringing forward through that? And, for me, I grew up in my household was happy. My parents were not. My mum especially was very unhappy growing up. And so what I learned, unfortunately, was that in order to get attention from a man in a relationship, I had to become a victim. That's what my mum told me, because she thought that if she's a victim, she'll get noticed, she'll get more attention, she'll get someone that wants to offer to help her because she wasn't confident enough to ask. And so I grew up with that mentality, thinking that. And I've only just, I cleared that about a year ago. I realised I was doing that and cleared it when I met after, when I woke up. You just teach your children really unhealthy habits. And I don't know, if I had a choice, I would love to have a twin flame bring up my children. If I had children separate from my twin, I would love that. I think that way children get to grow up, see what true love actually is. And then we're going to start to share things, But a lot of the masculines, they do sell out. And it's fear that traps them.
Well, it's like, okay, so maybe they can see it like this. Like, if you have a dream of how things can be and you're not living that dream, you're selling out.
Yeah.
If you know someone that you have a really special connection with that's out of this world and you would do anything to have that and you're not in that relationship, you're selling out.
Yeah. What was I going to say? What a lot of the masculines will learn the hard way is that if they don't let go of these things, if they keep selling themselves out, the universe intervenes. So a lot of the masculines do lose their jobs. They do lose their homes. They do lose their security. They lose all their money and they become bankrupt. They lose a lot because they have to learn that they're still alive even without it, and they can still be happy without it. Like when I met my twin, I was more masculine and I had nothing. I had no money. I wore the same clothes every day. I just was not in a good place. But I realised that I was writing my book at the time and I was feeling so happy to write it and to spread this message that it kind of put everything else to one side, the fact that I was kind of broke and lonely. So I think we have to lose those things to realise we never needed them in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, we all have our things that we cling to for our safety and security.
Yeah.
But love kind of trumps all. As you learn in the movie The Family Man.
That's one of my favorite movies. Love wins everything. Money is not fun to cuddle.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it might be a little fun.
Well, I've never tried. You know. I'll let you know.
But like, yeah. So, have we explored that?
Yes. The other
Should we look at the next card?
Inner child.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I suppose for the masculines who are kind of new to this, whatever wounds you carry from your childhood, those are gonna get triggered. And a trigger is basically when your divine feminine or anyone says something to you that hits a button that you're carrying within you. And when they hit that button, it feels like they've said something completely horrible, vile, and offensive, and you tend to launch back at them and say something just as awful. But actually what's happening is that they're showing you something within you. So for me, for example, growing up, the victim thing, that was a thing for me. I used to always play the victim with my relationships and with my twin. And where are you going?
I'm floating. I have Yogi like laying next to the thing, and he's like pushing it out with his legs. So growing up, I had those templates, and when I met my twin, I started to notice them a lot, because I would play what would happen is that I would play the victim, and then when I did that, I didn't get what I wanted. In past relationships, I always got what I wanted by doing that, but with my twin, it never worked, ever. I just felt worse. I got maybe more lonely. So what I eventually learned through my twin flame is that I am not a victim. And when I act like a victim, it doesn't get me anywhere. So I just stopped doing it. It's like, you're like a child, right? Like, okay, it doesn't, when I kick my legs, when I kick the pram, when I don't eat my dinner, I don't get what my parents don't, nothing changes. I might as well not do that anymore. So you do start to learn these things, but your inner child wounds are going to be reflected in your twin flame. So if you have abandonment issues, if you were abandoned a lot as a child, you're going to feel like your twin is abandoning you, even when they're not. Even when they're not, and if you've had rejection, you're going to feel like you're always being rejected by your twin. And they're doing it on purpose to show you this within yourself so that you can heal it and you can then be with them, because those wounds are going to stop you from being together until they're gone, really. That's what keeps twins apart. Yeah. Well, and they're not necessarily conscious that they're doing that to you, but their higher self sure is.
Yep.
I was like, oh, yeah, let me try this. Let me try that.
Yeah.
But I think where it comes from is usually their mother.
Yeah.
However the masculine's mother treated him or told him that he's not good enough, or that he could be better, or that, that you failed at this or you failed at that. Whatever the message was from the mother to the masculine gets pretty deeply ingrained. Mm-hmm. But if he can realize that, and if he can be like, I'm not buying that bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
I'm going to decide to believe something totally different. In fact, maybe even the opposite.
Yeah.
Maybe I am awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I am much greater than most men.
Yeah.
Maybe I have achieved far greater than I could have ever imagined. It's limitless, and it's kind of like a dog that's been on a leash for so long, or on a chain for so long, it doesn't know once it breaks free. Like, if you let it off that chain, it doesn't know that it can go run and be free. Mm-hmm. That's the masculines.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's self-imposed, but the cool thing is, lately it seems like they're really coming to that realization that they did it to themselves.
Yeah.
And they're breaking free.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can see that.
And they're seeing that, they're being manipulated. And these women these karmic women in their lives, their mothers and their girlfriends who, claim that they're not good enough and all this stuff, will run circles around them.
Yeah.
Because they can get them to do anything they want.
It's controlling.
Yeah. I'll whine and complain, or make them feel guilty, or they need to take care of me, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. I hope they can see that there is a totally different caliber of woman in their feminine.
Yeah, so the divine feminine is going to be different to any woman you've ever been with. because she's not going to put you down. She's going to allow you to be free. She's going to allow you to love. She's going to love herself, which is going to make you love her even more, and vice versa. She's going to give you confidence. She's going to support you, respect you. She's going to give you everything that you've ever needed in a woman, and you'll want to give her everything that you've ever wanted to give. You know, it's a whole different, because the point of twin flames is to break away from the old templates of relationships. We're shedding that old skin. So you may look at your karmic, you know, your current spouse or your exes and think, well, they did that, so how is it going to be different to? In fact, you might even look at the karmics and go, well, I tried to be with my twin and it was so toxic that why would I go back to that? I'm just going to stay here where it's basic. But actually, the reason it was toxic is because you had toxicity within you that you need to clear. And the universe is going to help and show you what those points are that you need to clear. So, for example, if you felt like your twin abandoned you, that gate's now been opened. So what you're going to notice is that everyone around you is going to start abandoning you. People around you, things are going to start leaving your presence. You're going to feel very lonely because you're being shown something that's within you. So once the door opens with the twin, it's open, it doesn't get shut. So you're going to see it everywhere. And if you don't deal with it, the universe will literally make you deal with it. It will put it right in your face. Because the third card here we have is dreams. That's the third card that came out. So, you know, the universe will show you through dreams, through signs. You're going to see the feminine's name everywhere. You're going to see where she, you know, signs of where she, her street name. You're going to see her birthday everywhere. That's what's going to be happening because you're definitely going to know there's something about this person. She's not going to go anywhere, you know.
Well, yeah, and there will be triggers. She'll, you know, we were talking about triggers. Times when you get defensive, but she will listen and want to learn and want to grow.
Yeah.
She may get upset, but she'll come back and apologize.
Yeah.
She'll try to sort it out.
Yeah.
She's like super mature.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you realize that you're a twin flame, you're like, as the feminine, not the masculine initially, but as the feminine, I mean, by the time they kind of earn knowing that they have a twin flame, they're pretty darn mature.
Yeah. They are. Yeah.
And
if you're a masculine that's just figured it out, then you can pretty much guarantee your feminine already figured it out a while ago. You know, because I hear masculine say that. Well, does she know if she's a feminine? Yeah, she probably knew 3 years ago. Like she's known for a while because the feminine tends to figure it out first because we're more connected to the sort of spiritual realms, the divine. So we're connected. We feel it straight away. The masculines don't so much, but because your feminine's done so much work on herself to become this emotionally reliable, beautiful feminine. She's done that, become that, and as she's risen up, that's what's pulled you up through, and that's why you're now seeing it, and that's why you're now figuring it out. You might be getting the dreams and the signs because she's already done it, and you're mirroring her, right?
Yeah. And if you want to place your bet on a woman, if you've got several options, if you want to place a bet, emotional intelligence is what will make a relationship last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Taking personal responsibility. That makes you playful. It makes you have a sense of humor. It makes you lighter, makes you brighter, makes you more fun, makes you easier to deal with in any kind of situation. It makes somebody easier to talk to if there's any kind of conflict between you two. Mm-hmm. If there's anything to deal with in life, if you have a problem at work and you come home and you want somebody to talk to, look for emotional intelligence.
Yeah. Your
twin flame knows almost like just what to say and what to do.
Yeah.
Got to be careful here. You know, but they know just what to say and what to do, to like just by nature because they're your counterpart.
Yeah.
But they know how to chill you out.
Yeah.
But back to the dream thing, like pay attention to those dreams because the universe gives you dreams and signs and synchronicities for a reason. Mm-hmm. You're getting bombarded with that stuff for a reason. You can't stop thinking about her for a reason.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So pay attention. Pay attention. And like, here's the thing that they're afraid of too. Well, a lot of them are dealing with past regrets and disappointments, how they treated her before, or like they're afraid that if they show up, then they're going to get a lot of skepticism or it's going to be shoved in their face, things like that. And I suppose there are some immature feminines out there that would do that, but they're more likely just to be so happy that you came to talk to them or called them or whatever, that they're going to be all ears.
Yeah.
And they're going to make every effort possible to try to create harmony between you, whether you're in a relationship, like a romantic relationship or not. They're gonna want to bring peace to that relationship because it's bringing peace to a part of their soul. Yeah. It's like if you guys can be in harmony somehow and be okay with the status of your relationship and where you're at, and even if it's a friendship or whatever, it's like that brings peace to you guys, and it's just much better.
Yeah. Should I put one more card?
Yeah. Drum roll.
Drum roll. Drum roll. We have our winner. Victim consciousness.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Some of I feel like this is a fear thing. What I notice with a lot of masculines, myself included when I was more masculine, is that they're so used to being in a problem, they're so used to being in a victim, they don't know who they are if they remove that problem. So it's like, right? So you get so used to, say for example, you are in a relationship and you're unhappy and you've been unhappy for 10 years, 20 years. You're so used to being unhappy that if you were suddenly happy, it's kind of like, well, then who am I? Well, I haven't got anything to complain about. So then what do I do? So really it's about finding fulfillment in who you are and figuring out who you are with that. That's the thing with the masculines. You have to release things around you to figure out who you are. That's why you do lose the job and the car and the money, because the universe is trying to show you who you are without anything around you. So you can get to a point where you're so used to complaining and you feel like you feel heard when you have something to complain about, but that kind of keeps you stuck, and then you can't move forward.
And I just got the word selfish.
Yeah.
Their mothers guilted them so much that they're so afraid of being selfish. I've heard that word so many times these last few days, and I have more and more masculines coming to me all the time.
Yeah.
And they're just so afraid to be they're so sweet. If you're a masculine watching this and you're like afraid to be selfish, you are a kind-hearted, loving, conscientious, incredible, beautiful man. Mm-hmm. Claim that. Know that about you. Don't let somebody guilt you into feeling like you're selfish. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. You have every right to be happy. You have every right. And self-love is different than selfishness. Selfishness is like, I don't care about anybody else, and I'll walk all over them or do whatever I want to just because I don't really care. It's like walking into it. Somebody told me that they had a guest in their house one time that stayed and turned on the hot water in the sink, and then walked out the door and left it for like 45 minutes running. It's like, that's selfish. That's like, I don't have a clue who else is in my world, and nor do I care. Yeah. It's just like, do they have a water bill they'll have to pay? Yeah. Will they have to pay, for the electricity to heat that water, whatever, it's like, that's just being completely clueless and almost rude. It's like, wow, you didn't think of that. And they were like, oh, well, I got distracted and I had a call and I just left. It's like, really? What? That's selfish, or just being like, me, everybody, the world revolves around me and everybody needs to do what I want and everybody needs to, like, that's totally different. Self-love. Yeah. Self-love actually helps you. It can help you. It does help you to love others more, but it's because you have good, healthy boundaries. It's because I love you enough that I want to spend time with you. And if I don't, I'll let you know. Yeah. And so when I do get to spend time with you, you're going to feel really special. Yeah. Because it's like, I know how to say no, and I know my yes really means yes. Yeah. I don't fool around with, let your yes be yes and your no be no. Be solid in that. In that, have your boundaries. And then also, if you take care of yourself and you love yourself and this is a night when I need to stay home and watch a movie. This is a night when I need to go to the gym. This is a night when I need to, if they can learn how to take care of themselves like that and not feel guilty about it, then it's just like, okay. And then you give them that kind of, they can have that kind of freedom. Then when they appear for you, it's like, wow, okay, you want to be here. Exactly. And that comes from their mothers, and it comes from their karmic partners too, who are just like super, super needy and really like, how can you not want to spend every second with me? And that all comes from insecurity. That's just codependence.
Yeah,
none of that's healthy.
Codependence is not something you're going to really get from the feminine. She doesn't need, she's fully whole, she's complete on her own. She doesn't need you there, she wants you there, and that's a very different thing.
Yes.
She wants to be in your company, she wants to take you out, she wants to make you dinner, she wants to be taken out. She doesn't need you to be there, she doesn't need you to make her dinner, she doesn't need you to take care of her, or she's, you know, she is okay on her own. So to be with a woman like that is very empowering, and to be with a man like that is very empowering, you know, and they empower each other. So.
Yeah, but they do go through their phases too. I mean, they do, like, if they're not ready for union yet, they'll get together and they will be a little codependent sometimes. But they'll go back into separation if they don't know how to take personal responsibility, but then they'll come back as new people again.
Exactly.
They do that. That's the incredible thing about twins is they'll go apart for a while and they'll grow up tremendously. They'll come back as new people.
Yeah.
And they keep doing that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, if they have to.
Yeah.
If they have to.
Yeah.
But one of the, I did a podcast a while ago, and I actually interviewed a couple because I was so astounded by their level of maturity. Like they met, they had tons to fight against. I mean, the whole family was against them. Mm-hmm. And I've heard a few of these stories people have been together twins that have been together many, many years after tons of controversy and tons of flack from their family, friends, and everybody. It's almost like the whole world was against them. Mm-hmm. And they didn't care. They just loved the heck out of each other and stuck it out. But it's like, it takes this couple that I talked to, they really make it about themselves and their own personal growth. They mm-hmm. don't point a finger at each other and say, if only you would do this to be different, then I would be happy. Yeah. You know, they don't do that to the other person, and mm-hmm. then they're able to stay together. Yeah. But if you do start doing that, then you're kind of screwed, yeah. Yeah. At least for a while.
Yeah, well, I think when you're awakened, you realise that everything is your own reflection and everything is your own creation. So if something was to happen that upset you, it's very easy. Well, for me now, maybe not a few years ago, if something was to upset me, I would always say, okay, what is this showing within me? That doesn't mean that you become a doormat, because people have to take responsibility for their own actions and their own words. But,
right.
Yeah, in a relationship, I would definitely be more sort of focused on what is this showing within me. And I wouldn't put blame on someone else. But then maybe because if you don't need anyone else to do anything for you, there's a lot of blame comes from, well, you said you were going to do this and you didn't, right? A lot of blame comes from that. Whereas with twin flames, you don't really, there's not necessarily promises like that. It's more about just a connection that you want to explore all the time and you enjoy being around each other. It's a feeling of home, feeling of knowing them. So we could go on for ages like that.
And there's that, you know, and you can come together and be like, okay, here's what I felt and here's what I went through in that situation. And the other can say, oh, okay. Yeah. So let's get on the same team. Let's get on the same page about this issue, and let's conquer it together. It makes me think of like the Three of Coins. Yeah. Like, let's be collaborative. Let's do it together. Yeah. Let's conquer it together. Yeah. So there may be fear on either of their parts, but they talk it through and they're like on the same side. Yeah. And it's easy with twins because they do have a natural ability to just get along really great. Yeah. Absolutely. So if they can just be like mature enough to just be able to have those types of conversations mm-hmm. on just if you're capable of having a heartfelt conversation with someone, you're ready.
Yeah. I agree.
Just got to break through the fear of talking to the person after everything you guys have been through.
Yeah, and after the guilt as well.
It's really.
From what I've been channeling.
And that's what was that?
From what I've been channeling, there's a lot of guilt from the masculine of how he's treated. Because I feel like the masculine wakes up. So if you're a masculine watching this, you're going to wake up and you're going to realise what you've done. And you're going to realise all the destruction that you've caused. And you're going to feel like, because you're the masculine, you're going to feel like you have to fix it. But you don't. You haven't got to fix the past. You just got to focus on the future and bring it in, and bring it forward. So, and that's the beautiful thing about the feminine. She's not going to hold it. She's ready to be in the union. She's not going to hold a grudge. She's not going to.
No. She just wants to be happy. She just wants to move on with her life and be happy.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah.
You know. Even if they've chosen somebody else, and they've gone another direction, that's still fine. You guys can just still be on the same page in that way and support and love each other and grow and be each other's best friend, you know?
My battery's saying it's low.
Okay.
I'm not charging it.
Nice and short and sweet today.
Short and sweet today. It's funny though, because hang on, let me do a goodbye to everyone and then I'll talk to you and I'll plug in. Did you have anything else that you wanted to bring forward before we say goodbye?
Yeah, guilt, shame, worry, all that stuff is just geared to hold you back from your dreams. And it's ultimately holding the planet back from a lot of really happy couples coming together. So, learn to see the bigger picture. Don't get that's selfish.
Yeah.
That's selfish.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting in guilt and sitting in wishy-washiness and sitting in that energy of like, I don't know, what if, and that type of energy, that's selfish.
Yeah.
Because your feminine's ready, she wants to talk, and you're like keeping the whole planet from raising in this vibration, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So get over yourself, see the bigger picture, get through your fears, and a bunch of other masculines will do the same thing when you do.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's got to go first.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think in that terms. Think in terms of being a bold, courageous warrior that's going to go out on the line. You're going you're going to die anyway. Just be the first.
Yeah.
To rage in and raise your sword and run in.
Yeah.
You'll be the hero.
Yeah.
And then, I'm just talking about the collective energy, it's like the more masculines, and they do this. This has been going on for a long time, this song and dance with the twin flames, and there are a lot of twin flames in union, but we're just talking about those in separation. It's like, the 100th monkey thing, the more of them that start to get courageous and come forward, and I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
The more are doing it. So help everybody out. Help your bros out.
Yeah.
Go after your girl. Right?
I love that. Okay. That's a nice way to
help her out.
Yeah, that's a good way. I like. Yeah. Okay. It's a good way to end. I like that message. Help your bros out. So thank you everyone for joining us for this video. We hope that it helps you. If you have any questions or comments for previous videos, things like that, just post below. Do you want to briefly give your number for the free reading on the Sunday? If anyone wants a free reading.
Thank you. So I have a podcast. It's at thesatoryshow.podbean.com, and every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time, you have to figure out what time zone you're in and what that is. You could call the show at 256-291-1191, and you get free readings if you call that number.
Perfect.
Yay!
And you do also have your own YouTube channel, which is Amy Satori, right?
Well, you put it. It has an old name, so you just go to YouTube in the search and put Amy Satori. And if you want the messages lately that are kind of cool, the channeled messages, just put Amy Satori channeled, and you'll get the latest of these last few messages. And one of them was a really pretty cool message for the masculine as well. So, yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks, you guys.
And we hope you enjoyed this. And we will see you guys on the next video. I've lost her now. She's gone. We'll see you guys on the next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.